All right, boys. I know I've made a couple of videos about them recently, but the Milwaukee Bucks are playing really well, and they won their game tonight in the first round of the elimination rounds for the NBA Cup. Impressive in some ways win against the Magic, a resilient win, which was important and I think good for them against an incredibly feisty, high effort Orlando Magic team. Jalen Suggs had like 18 points in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, was really, really good down the stretch. And the Magic just did not give up. They are so solid defensively, one of the best defensive teams in basketball. And despite not having Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero, are just playing so well as a whole and just continue to find ways to either be in games or win games. Winning their first game without Franz and Paulo against the Suns on Sunday, and then again in a close competitive game against the Bucks tonight. But the Bucks found a way to get the job done. A very impressive and needed win for a team that is now 13-11, has won 8 out of their last 10. Giannis with 37 points and 7 rebounds. Dame finishes with 28 on 8 of 15, 9 assists as well, which has been something again that I've touched on a couple times the last couple videos I've made about the Bucks. But Dame's passing has been really, really up this year. He's been playmaking a ton since he came back from injury and has had a really, really solid year. And then Bobby Portis, who's had a bad year, and we'll talk about that, was really impactful tonight. 9 of 11, 2 of 3 from 3, 22 points. Really, really good game for him. Was the type of thing that I think the Bucks really want to see as a team. Very, very big performance for him. And I really like what the Bucks have been figuring out as of late. Getting Chris Middleton back, I get he did basically nothing tonight, did not score at all. But in his first couple games has been able to be a guy who's at least on the court making a little bit of an impact. Look, the efficiency's been really bad so far, but the Bucks have been good with him on the court to this point in the year, and we're only plus 4 tonight with him on the court. But again, I think getting him back, especially once they get him back in the swing of things, is going to be a big addition as well for Milwaukee. But with that being said, when you look at the numbers, the Bucks are having obviously a really, really solid year, led by Giannis having a ridiculous season, averaging 32, 11 and a half, and 6.5, like really crazy season so far. Dame, again, he's up to 7.5 assists a game. That number will go up even a little bit more after tonight. Almost 26 a game as well. 3-point percentage is going back up to about 37%. Giannis has gone way down in terms of his three-point consistency. He barely shoots them, which is good because he doesn't shoot them well, but he's been shooting them he's almost not been shooting them at all, basically. But he is shooting a lot of mid-ranges, and he's shooting them at a high level, which I think is an important addition to the Bucks offense. Gary Trent Jr. has been overall not what they wanted him to be defensively, but offensively he's been good since a rough start to the season. Taurean Prince, same thing. Really nice role player addition, has been good on both ends of the court. Bobby Portis, again, numbers look decent. Defensively, he's been a disaster. Offensively, he's not been awesome either, to be totally honest. And Brook Lopez has had a good, resilient season so far. I think he's been pretty impactful defensively as of late. Still a real threat as a shot blocker. Still Splash Mountain, a capable shooter as well. And I think they're getting a lot of contributions from a lot of different guys. But you know who's been a huge contributor as of late that I did not peg to be a significant contributor to this team's season? Replacing Pat Connaughton. AJ Green shooting 48% from 3, 54% from inside the 3-point line as well, averaging 8 a game, and he is not one to be played with defensively either. Has been really good on the defensive end of the court, but he provides what I feel like Pat Connaughton has been supposed to provide, but has far too often failed to provide these last couple of years. And I mean, I use this new website, Shot Creator, which is a really cool tool, by the way, to find certain plays and find things for players' performances, but just to show a couple of the plays that he made tonight that were crucial down the stretch in this game. Tie ball game, 6.5 minutes left. The Bucks run a press and are a little bit out of position defensively. Giannis, because he's Giannis, forces defensive attention from Franz Wagner, who has to rotate down to stop the ball to prevent an easy one-on-one. And look, before he's even able to fully come over and contest Giannis recognizes that help, knows he has a great 3-point shooter outside, and AJ Green flings the ball outside for not even a great spot for the catch and shoot 3, but he still knocks it down with confidence. Absolutely huge shot for AJ Green there. And then he does the same thing a couple possessions later. Dribble drive for Dame. Again, relocation, does a great job of not staying still and moving without the ball here, which is what he gets him open. I mean, Anthony Black gets caught ball watching because Dame penetrates to the rim. Again, that's what Dame and Giannis are able to give you. Goga's forced to help here a little bit, forces Anthony Black to come over just a little bit towards Giannis, which again opens up that movement without the ball. Watch AJ Green right here, move without the ball, get up towards the hash, and knock down a wide open catch and shoot 3. That's the type of play right there that a role player needs to make, and that the Bucks need a role player to be able to make on a consistent basis. There's a reason he closed the game tonight. He played absolutely awesome. Closed the game over Gary Trent Jr., and I see why. He's had an awesome year and has been a big, big piece for this Bucks team. Also, Andre Jackson Jr. has been good as well. His defensive ability is really, really nice. And honestly, efficiency-wise, he's better offensively as well. The offense is surprisingly good with him on the court, and he's a big impact defensively as well. Both he and Brook Lopez, I think, are significantly impactful to the defensive ability of this Bucks team, as is obviously AJ Green on both ends of the court. Those three guys have been huge for this team as of late. And that's helped pick up the slack for guys who have not been quite as good as you'd like. I mean, Taurean Prince and Gary Trent Jr., the efficiency is good, but defensively, both teams are significantly better against the Bucks when those guys are on the court this season. And also offensively, the Bucks haven't been significantly better with those guys on the court either. I think that the stagnance of Gary Trent Jr. and Taurean Prince as non-threats with the ball in their hands, non-factors, can create to stagnating the entire Bucks offense at times. And the Bucks are going to need those guys to be a little bit more impactful, especially on the defensive end of the court, for this team to be truly competitive. But I will say a lot of these numbers, I think, are skewed by the really rough start to the season that the Bucks have had as a whole. I mean, I don't think Bobby Portis' numbers are all that skewed. I just truly don't believe he's that impactful. The offense is less impactful and less efficient when he's on the court. The defense is also significantly worse when he is on the court. 18th percentile in points per possession, 19th percentile in turnovers. They don't force a lot of turnovers. They're not even rebounding the ball that well, which is something that I think Brook Lopez's size contributes more effectively to. As a whole, it's just not been a good year for Bobby Portis. And again, contributors around the fringes, guys like Gary Trent Jr., Taurean Prince, and Bobby Portis are going to have to be impactful on both ends of the court for the Bucks to be a serious threat in the Eastern Conference playoffs against top teams in the East. But like I said, they've won 8 of their last 10. They're playing really well as of late, up to 13-11, solidly in that 6 seed, although I guess only by half a game, but only about 7.5 games back of the 1 seed. Realistically, if you are the Bucks, I think your goal is a top 4 seed, especially with Franz Wagner's injury. Paulo Banchero likely not back for at least another 3 weeks or so. There's an opportunity here for the Bucks to go on a bit of a run if they can get some things rolling and make claim for that 4 seed in the East. Try to catch up to the Knicks as well. They're only 2 games behind. The Bucks are starting to roll, and they're doing it at the right time, giving themselves an opportunity to really start to try to make a run here as the All-Star break begins to approach, I guess, and as we get towards Christmas. When you look at the upcoming schedule, Cleveland's going to be a big matchup on Friday. That's a game I think they would really like to win. I'm sorry, that's December 20th. I forgot. This is the in-season tournament that's coming up. So they're going to have another in-season tournament regular season game that's going to count towards their regular season record, which is going to be against winner of Hawks Knicks. That's a huge game. Again, if you're the Bucks, you really want to win that game, make the in-season tournament or the NBA Cup Finals. And that game in the finals doesn't count toward the regular season record at all. But then they'll wind up coming up against Cleveland, Washington, Chicago. After Cleveland, it actually is a pretty easy schedule for a while here, really throughout the rest of the year. A lot of easy teams, tanking teams, not great teams. And I think the Bucks have an opportunity to go on a bit of a run here. I mean, they're already 8-2 in their last 10 games. If they can keep that run up, they're going to start to put themselves in a really, really good spot in the Eastern Conference. If they can win, say, another 7 or 8 out of their next 10 games and wind up going into the All-Star break on a bit of a run and get to, I mean, if they could be 20-13 or 14, the Bucks are going to be in a really good spot. And I think this team has bounced back phenomenally from a really rough start to the season and are starting to reestablish themselves as real Eastern Conference contenders. So with that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with more NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.